Are you considering moving to Vail, Tucson? Well, stick on by because I'm going to give you the pros and cons of living in this area. All right, what's up? My name is Emilio. I'm a local realtor out here in Tucson, Arizona, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, and I've been active duty for almost a decade now. And I'm also a realtor. So if you're coming to the area or if you know someone coming to the area, please reach out to me. Pause this video. My phone number is 520-820-1948. Feel free to call or text me. All right, Vail, Arizona. So this is one of the hidden gems of Tucson. So it's a little bit of a drive from the actual town itself. It's about a 25-minute drive, so it's a little reserved and far away from the actual city. So a lot of people like it for that reason, but that also comes with some cons, and we're going to go over those. But because of that same reason, there's a lot of pros that some people choose to live out here. And we're going to be going over 5 pros and 2 of the cons. Also, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this waffle top. It's Arizona out here and it gets super hot, so I don't prepare for the winter at all. So as soon as it drops down below 70, I'm wearing my military stuff. All right, so pro number 1, the schools in Vail. All right, so Vail has an array of elementary, middle, and high schools, and 90% of those schools are rated above average according to greatschools.org. Not only do they have 4 national Blue Ribbon Awards, but they also have 43 Arizona A+ school awards. So if you have family or kids, this is definitely something you might want to consider. A lot of people do consider that and make that one of the significant factors why they come out and move out here. All right, pro number 2 of living out in Vail, the slower pace that it has. So because Vail is a little bit separated from the main city of Tucson, it's a little bit more slower pace, and it has a little bit more of a rural feel to it also. Depending on the little neighborhood that you're in within Vail, you can have a lot of distance between your neighbors, or you can be in a neighborhood where you have cookie cutter homes, and you can see into the window of your other neighbor. There really is only one main street that I kind of consider, and it's a little bit of a downtown area where you have like shops, restaurants, and things like that. Pro number 3 of living out in Vail, the price of the homes. So a lot of people come out and live in Vail because they just don't have the prices in the pockets to pay for a home in actual Tucson. Once you start getting closer and closer to town, you're going to be able to see the prices go up. However, if you're out here in Vail, you can even get brand new homes. There's a lot of builders out here. You can get brand new homes with low interest rates and pretty affordable prices, starting from the low 300s. But on the contrast, you can also see a lot of luxury homes out here. And whether it depends if it's an established home that's been around for a while, or also those new builders, those $500,000 homes that you're going to be able to see, and those also have little neighborhoods in here. Although it has a wide variety of prices of homes for you to choose from, a lot of them are also going to be cookie cutter homes. There are so many builders out here that are offering great incentives, and that's another reason why people come out here and live here. But generally, because we're a little bit detached from the main city, that's also going to keep your prices pretty low, whether it's a new build or an established home. All right, pro number 4, community oriented. This is similar to pro number 2, but this area is just very community and family oriented. As I mentioned before, we have a lot of local businesses, and those people live within Vail, so there tends to be a lot of support throughout the area. Additionally, we have things like farmers markets. We have a couple of those, food truck parks, and things like that. And there's also a lot of homesteaders out here and horse owners. As I mentioned earlier, part of this area has a lot of rural feel to it. There can be plenty of space between homes and a lot of acreage within them as well. And this is also going back to the pro number 3 that I was talking about, a lot of range and variety when it comes to homes and prices. So if that community oriented vibe is something you're looking for, that homestead or even horse owning vibe, then Vail is definitely a little town that you might want to check out. All right, pro number 5, the scenery and the outdoors. So again, because we're in the outskirts of Tucson, we're kind of wrapped around by the Rincon Mountains. And because of that, we have a lot of activities that we're able to do in the area. Everything from hiking, biking, dirt biking, and camping. So if you love the outdoors, there really isn't a shortage for you of things to do out here. And there's also a golf course in Rancho del Lago, which is also a neighborhood around here. And we do have a couple of attractions. We have the National Park just close by, and we also have Colossal Park, which is an underground cave that you can go and explore. And there's also a beautiful scenery out there. And there's also tours that you can take. All right, moving on to the cons. Con number 1, the trains and the traffic. So we have a couple of train tracks that run across that main street that I was kind of referring to earlier. And sometimes those things are passing in the middle of the day during school hours and work hours. And sometimes they cause traffic jams jamming up the streets. And there's also a lot of neighborhoods that are within those tracks. I've heard some people complain about the noise, not only during the day, but they also run during the night. And the traffic too, although this is a pretty small neighborhood compared to Tucson itself, and a lot of the roads here are also 2-lane only. So that means during the busy hours of the day, such as work commute hours and school hours, there's going to be usually a traffic jam. You pretty much have to count on leaving your house early and accounting for that. Although we do have the I-10 pretty nearby, for some people it's not as convenient. So they have to go through the streets and account for that time that they're going to be sitting in traffic. All right, before I hit you with this last con, again, my name is Emilio. I'm a realtor out here in Tucson, Arizona, and I'm also active duty Air Force. And if you're coming to Tucson or you know someone coming to Tucson, let me know and I'd be glad to help them. Pause this video and take a picture of my phone number. It's 520-820-1948. Or if you want a more one-on-one experience, click my calendar link down below and you're going to be able to book a one-on-one call and see if we're a right fit for each other. All right, con number 2, the distance from the city. We kind of briefly went over this already, but I wanted to give you a better idea. So Vail's essentially a rectangular shaped town, and the further south you go down, the more you might have to drive to go into actual Tucson. Again, we do have the I-10 kind of splitting us between the middle, but even that, it can take you about 20 to 30 minutes to drive into town. Now, this can be pretty inconvenient if you have things like appointments or you're just trying to go downtown or a restaurant in town to have fun. So you're going to have to consider that time. And at a max, you're going to be spending an hour just driving, which is going to be there and back. I personally live out in Vail, and although I enjoy it, that's one of the cons that I just give this place. And my wife and I have just kind of learned to rely on the things that are in town so we don't have to drive into Tucson, like the local restaurants and grocery stores and things like that. And just to give you a quick idea, we do have a Fry's, we have a Safeway, and we have local little pizzerias and bars. We do have things like dentists, even a Botox place, and a gun store. All right, that wraps up this video. Hopefully I was able to give you some juicy info and equip you with some knowledge to make your decision whether to live or not live in Vail. All right, again, my name is Emilio. I'm a local realtor out here, and I've also been active duty for almost a decade now. And if you ever need help buying a home or selling a home in the area, please reach out to me and I'd be glad to help. Click my link down below in the description or pause and take a picture of my phone number here.